Bono. Bono has announced that during the upcoming U2 tour, he's going to wave a giant EU flag on stage. Well, U2 is kicking off its tour in Berlin this week, and we've just had one of our more provocative ideas. During the show, we're going to wave a big, bright blue EU flag. According to Bono, waving a giant EU flag is transgressive. It's a radical act. Waving a flag that represents a giant unelected bureaucracy. So radical! Waving a flag that represents the interests of a Byzantine metropolitan elite who have repeatedly ignored the democratic will of European citizens. So transgressive! Waving a flag that represents draconian, self-serving, neoliberal economic policies that have ruined the lives of working class people in Greece, Italy and Spain. So radical! Waving a flag that represents a federal superstate whose entire agenda is based around removing sovereignty and control from ordinary people. So transgressive! One of the richest celebrities on the planet waving a flag that represents one of the most opaque, autocratic institutions on the planet. So radical! Mate, remember when Geldof stuck his middle finger up at those working class fishermen? Yeah, in comparison, you make him look like a man of the people. Bono says he's proud to recall when Germany welcomed frightened Syrian refugees. Remember, this was the same guy who back in 2015 lectured us all not to use the word migrants. We must call them refugees. Then what happened? Waves and waves of migrants, not refugees, flooded into Germany. It was 2,000 migrants who molested over 1,000 women in Cologne on New Year's Eve in 2015. It was a migrant who barreled a truck through a Berlin Christmas market in December 2016, killing 12 people and injuring 56 others. Germany's violent crime rate increased, and 90% of it was attributable to male migrants. Yeah, hope you're proud, Bono. Really proud. Hey, Bono, if you're so proud, why didn't you take in any refugees? I mean, you're worth $700 million and you own 3 multi-million-dollar properties. But don't expect him to take in any refugees since he doesn't even like having neighbours. Not content with living in a single mansion, in 2005, Bono bought the one next door. Still no room for those frightened Syrian refugees though. Oh, but he temporarily changed the chorus of a U2 song to raise awareness. So I guess that's something. Right. Bono says only dirty right-wing nationalists think that diversity is a danger because Bono loves diversity. He loves diversity so much, he spends most of his time living in an affluent suburb of Dublin that's almost entirely white. So diverse. In a town which is full of mega-rich celebrities like himself. So diverse. What's the difference between God and Bono? God doesn't walk around Dublin believing he's Bono. That was a joke.
That really saddens me.
Bono says he's proud of Europe's fight to end climate change. A fight that Bono does his best to contribute towards by travelling around Europe in his luxury private Learjet and lazing around in his CO2-belching 140-foot yacht. U2's private jet carbon footprint for its 2009 tour was also big enough to fly the band to Mars and back. Bono also paid for 2 long-distance taxi rides and a flight to pick up a hat that he'd forgotten. So proud of you, Bono. Bono says he's also proud of the fight to end global poverty. So proud that his charity called out giant corporations who use shell companies and offshore tax havens to siphon much needed funds out of developing countries. But not proud enough for Bono himself to refrain from buying into a partnership of one of those very shell companies. Bono's so proud of the fight to end global poverty that his charity, which was set up to help fight global poverty, gives so much money to help fight global poverty. No, that's right, it gives just 1% of its income to fight global poverty. According to Bono, Europeans living under the EU are happier than ever. So happy that according to a recent poll, Europeans living in France, Germany and Spain, the countries most closely embroiled with the EU, are overwhelmingly pessimistic about their children's future. In France, for example, just 9% thought that their children would be better off than them in the future. So happy. Meanwhile, Bono Bono says he's inspired by Pope Francis's solidarity with the most vulnerable. Unless, of course, you're talking about vulnerable children being sexually abused by Catholic priests, something Pope Francis has helped cover up for years. Here's an idea, Bono. If you really do care about protecting the vulnerable, why not have a word with Popey about how he rewarded the cardinal who raped little boys for decades? Doesn't sound very inspirational to me. So Bono, go ahead and wave your little EU flag, perform your insufferable celebrity virtue signal. Because that very sanctimonious, out-of-touch, imperious, know-it-all attitude is precisely why we voted to leave the EU in the first place. Please click the big red button to subscribe. It really helps me when you do that, and click the bell to allow notifications so you never miss a new video.